He don't see this fight going a distance. Neither does I.
There's nothing great about taking punishment, being able to talk, voicing your opinion, and then when you're in a position where you can't talk and you can barely walk, the road want to say that.
He went 12 tough rounds with him, so he knows exactly how good Manny Pacquiao is. Floyd Mayweather has sent a serious warning to Mario Barrios about facing Pac-Man, saying the young contender is making a big mistake by accepting a fight with the seasoned, battle-tested legend. While most people favor Barrios for his youth and hunger, Floyd has a different view. He believes Manny still has what it takes to beat the WBC welterweight champ. Let's see exactly what Floyd said as he warned Barrios to be careful going into this fight. Boxing is a young man's sport, or at least that's what they say. The reflexes fade, the legs slow down, and punches lose power. But what if an old fighter still moves like he did 15 years ago? What if he can still beat the new blood? In the sport, that's where Manny Pacquiao is today. At 46 years old, Pacquiao is well past the age when most fighters retire. But here's the twist. He doesn't look like it. He's still lightning fast, his footwork is sharp, and that signature explosiveness is still there. While many experts say Mario Barrios has youth and momentum on his side, not everyone is counting Manny out. In fact, some boxing legends are backing him, at least figuratively. One of them is Vasily Lomachenko, who recently said that Manny's age won't matter in this fight. According to Loma, Pacquiao still moves like he did 10 years ago, and coming from Lomachenko, arguably one of the most skilled fighters of this era, that's high praise.
Very strong, he's very, very fast. And he's still Manny Pacquiao looks like 10 years ago.
But the most surprising supporter? None other than Floyd Money Mayweather. Yes, that Floyd Mayweather, the same guy who fought Pacquiao in 2015 in what was called the fight of the century. The same guy who outboxed and outpointed Manny over 12 rounds to win a unanimous decision. But even with that win, Floyd isn't ruling Pacquiao out in this fight with Barrios. In fact, he's warning the younger fighter.
One of the most important things about my career was my defense.
Some people ignore Manny's legacy just because he lost to Floyd, but let's be honest, losing to Mayweather is nothing to be ashamed of. Floyd dominated an entire generation of fighters. He's one of the smartest, most elusive boxers ever. If anyone knows how good Manny Pacquiao is, it's the man who shared a ring with him for 36 minutes. And what's Floyd saying now? He thinks Barrios is making a big mistake. Floyd believes Barrios might not understand what it really means to face someone like Pacquiao. It's not just age or speed, it's experience, ring IQ, and Manny's relentless spirit. Floyd says Manny still has it, and Barrios better not take that lightly.
Day in and day out, you go out there and you produce. And that's what it's really about. It's about producing a hell of a training team, my king.
Think about it. Pacquiao isn't just some retired legend returning for a paycheck. This isn't an exhibition or some fun event. He's coming back to win. If you've followed his career, you know Manny doesn't do anything halfway. He's a machine when it comes to training, discipline, and preparing for battle. That said, Barrios isn't a pushover. He's young, has reach, and wants to prove himself. He's looked strong in recent fights, and there's no doubt he sees this as his big chance to add a legend to his resume. But that's also what makes this fight risky. Being overconfident against someone like Pacquiao can cost you everything.
Manny has so much experience, that man, he could get through anything. As long as they have the right plan, whatever they do, man, they have that, they'll be able to.
Let's not forget what makes Manny special. The angles, the footwork, and the combos that come out of nowhere. Those aren't things you can train for just by watching fight videos. You have to experience it in the ring. And by the time you figure it out, you could already be on the canvas.
Leonard said when I was in the back, Leonard said he don't see this fight going a distance. Neither does I.
Floyd's concern comes from respect. He knows how tricky Manny can be. Even though Floyd won their fight, he had to be at his absolute best to outpoint Pacquiao. That night wasn't easy. He knows Barrios could be walking into something way tougher than expected. When you're Floyd Mayweather, one of the most dominant, undefeated boxers ever, people always want to know who gave you the hardest fight. Floyd faced legends like De La Hoya, Canelo, Mosley, Hatton, and more. But when he was asked who truly pushed him, his answer was both surprising and a big compliment.
At any point, did a fighter ever make you feel like, oh?
Floyd said that when he thinks back to his toughest fights, one stands out. He remembered being in the 3rd or 4th round and realizing the fight ahead would be long, painful, and unlike anything else he'd faced. That fight was against Manny Pacquiao.
No, but I've been in a fight. I get like in the 3rd or 4th round, like, tonight gonna be a rough one.
Yep, the Filipino boxer who made history by winning titles in 8 weight classes, starting at 108 pounds and going up to 154. Think about that. From flyweight to light middleweight, beating top fighters and knocking them out. Floyd said Pacquiao was relentless. I had to keep my distance, he said, because Manny wouldn't stop coming forward. Every second, every round, Pacquiao was chasing him down, throwing punches from wild angles. Even with Floyd's defense, he knew he couldn't afford to slip, not against a fighter like Manny.
Okay.
One of the best fighters I faced was Manny Pacquiao. He's a future Hall of Famer.
What the is it about Manny, man? He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. I keep.
In another interview, Floyd talked about how amazing Manny's career is. How could someone climb so many weight classes and still be dangerous at every level? It wasn't just that Manny moved up. He dominated, often with brutal knockouts. That kind of speed, power, and toughness in so many divisions, we may never see that again.
I just want to say this to the world. It's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing. I guess he's just blessed.
But it wasn't just Manny's resume that impressed Floyd, it was fighting him. Floyd later said that Manny Pacquiao was the best fighter he ever faced in the ring. Let that sink in. Coming from a guy who never lost and fought many top names, that's a massive compliment. Floyd said what made Manny hard to beat was his flashy movement, strange angles, wild footwork, and punches from directions no one else could throw from. That's what made Manny so special.
The best fighter I fought probably was Manny Pacquiao because of his movement.
While fighting him, Floyd had a realization. This is why Manny beat so many top guys. It wasn't just speed or aggression, it was all the subtle, unique things Pacquiao did in the ring. Movements that no one else could copy or defend against.
But he's a hell of a fighter, and I can see why he won so many fights, and I can see why he's going down as a Hall of Famer. It's just certain moves that he...
When Pacquiao eventually retired, Floyd didn't hesitate to give him his flowers. He called Manny one of the best fighters of all time, giving him GOAT-level respect. For all the trash talk and rivalry before their fight, when it was over, Floyd showed nothing but admiration.
Manny Pacquiao, I think that he's one of the best. He's one of the best. We was able to come together and we didn't come together when we wanted to, but we was able to come together and get the fans.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Since Floyd knows what it's like to fight Pacquiao, he recently gave a warning to Mario Barrios, the young fighter getting ready to face the legendary Pac-Man. And this wasn't just some casual line. Floyd sounded truly concerned. He said, "It's not worth it. Taking damage from someone like Manny just to chase greatness, that's dangerous. Pacquiao throws a lot of punches, and even if you block some, they still hurt." Floyd warned that this kind of damage, especially from a guy like Manny, can leave serious long-term effects on the body and brain.
Look at guys like Sugar Ray Robinson. You guys look at certain fighters like Muhammad Ali. There's nothing great about taking punishment, being able to talk, voicing your opinion, and then when you're in a position where you can't talk and you can barely walk, the world want to say that.
Mayweather's been in the sport long enough to know the risks, and as a former champ with decades of experience, his advice to Barrios was clear: be careful. Floyd even said that if he were in Barrios' place, he wouldn't take this fight. Not against Manny. Not now, when Pacquiao is still dangerous and hungry to prove he's not done yet.
If I gotta be put in that position to be great, then that's not for me.
So while fans argue about whether Manny is too old, Floyd Mayweather is telling everyone, don't sleep on this legend. Because once that bell rings, age won't matter. What matters is if you're ready for a storm that never stops coming. But what do you think, fight fans? Will Mario Barrios underestimate the old legend and pay the price? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.